Welcome, friends. Welcome to today's Reconsider It live stream. Best live stream that you're gonna see all day. And here on this live stream, you are getting a very nice Tinkering with Knobs edition. An unprecedented Tinkering with Knobs edition, if you can believe that. Unprecedented entirely. What is so unprecedented about this, you ask? Well, my regulars know how these Tinkering with Knobs streams go. If you are new to the Reconsider It live streams, welcome. You made the right decision. You made the right decision joining us. Normally, the way these Tinkering with Knobs streams go is as follows. It's a good time for you because you get to hang out while I'm tinkering with some knobs, while I'm adjusting some sounds. I open up one of my 23 sound palettes. And I change the way things sound, change the way the bass sounds, change the way these other sounds sound. So that is to say, what normally happens is we're operating off of a palette that already exists. And of course, you already know that that is where we find the twist. In terms of what makes this particular Tinkering with Knobs stream so unique and special. On this Tinkering with Knobs stream, I'm going to be building a palette that doesn't exist yet. Whoa. I have 23 palettes that are in okay shape for improvising with. Ready to hit the stage with them. 23 different palettes. But today I'm building the 24th. I've got one palette for each key, each major key. And then I've got a second palette for most of the major keys. Only the key of F, I have one. So today I'm building my 24th palette, which is the second palette tuned to the key of F. And I've already got the skeleton of one. As you can see here, I've got the bass, more or less a standard bass kind of thing. I copied this down from another palette of mine that I thought was pretty good, but I'm going to be heavily rewriting it. So the bass I twisted a little bit, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But then I also added in this other layer here. This thing. This one is new. I copied it down so it has similar bass elements from another track of mine, but I've completely redone it and I rewrote half of it. So I'll talk more about that in a second as well. But in the meantime, my friends, right now, we are just in a chill out phase. We are warming up. We are warming up right now to this beat that I put together before the stream began. To this palette, or using this palette rather, that I'm in the middle of building and will continue building with you on the stream today. While we are hanging out to this beat that I started half building, there's one action you need to complete. One action item for you in order to make sure that you are most properly set up for success here today. What is that one action item for you? Grab your drink. Grab a drink, my friends. I have some water. You might have whatever you have. You might have some tea. You might have some lemonade. You might have some kind of carbonated beverage. Whatever you might be drinking upon, my friends, or quickly running to grab, whatever you have to drink, my friends, grab a drink. We're going to do our warm-up cheers, our practice cheers moment. My regulars know what this cheers is all about. The magic, the sheer joy of these cheers moments. Even for our friends who are joining us on replay, also watching and joining us along, you're also doing this very exciting cheers moment. These cheers transcend space and time. This is a way for us to know that we are really here together doing a thing. This is the anti-loneliness component of the Reconsider It live streams. The anti-loneliness, yes. Here it comes, my friends. We're going to do it on 3. I'm going to clink the camera. It's going to be really good. 1. Counting up. Starting at 1. We're doing it. It's good. 2. I like it. Friends, it's really coming together right now because the practice cheers happens on 3. Clink. Cheers. Phew. That was nice. That was very good. Just getting the blood flowing with this cheers a bit. Helps you feel like you belong here. We want you here. It's good that you're here. This being a Tinkering with Knobs stream, the main objective here is to evolve my sound palette that I use when improvising. This is a very in-studio hangout experience. And as I was saying, this one is being built. This is going to complete my set of 24. This is the F, the second F, which heretofore has never existed. And you've heard what I've got so far. Sounds like this. I'm gonna have to redo all the output effects as well, but throwing some reverb in here. So now the question is, what am I gonna build on top of that? Oh, by the way, because this is a tinkering with knobs experience here, I always tell you what my various sounds are built out of. For those of you who are also into the 505 looper and you're interested in playing around with sound design and you want to just see how I've done things. In any case, this bass that you're hearing right now, this bass is built out of 4 elements: guitar to bass. I always use that one in my basses. You probably would as well. Then it's passed into the electric, which is the tuner. That's what makes it be in the key of F. Then the sustainer, which is, if you're not familiar with it, just more or less a volume booster. And then it's fed into a chorus. And this chorus was very sparse. You have to listen carefully on this sustained bass. It's got a very, very low rate of 4. And then a depth of 72. So it's a pretty good chorus, but it's very drawn out. So that's the bass. Nice. Then there's these other ones. And these, here's one of them, just one by itself. This is built out of a preamp, and I set it to full range. It had been set to some other more grainy sounding thing on the source instrument. So I flipped that around. And then I also put a tremolo in here that was not on the source instrument. And then that HRM thing that, again, I don't even know what that is. Someone in a previous stream clarified what that is. I don't know what it is, but it makes it sound like this. And I set it to a unison rather than a higher or lower harmonic. Maybe that's what it is, HRM, some kind of harmonic. I'm guessing though. So that's what I've got so far, and I may even tweak them further as I continue through the stream today. But the real question at this time is what am I going to be building on top of them? I've got 2 additional instruments that I need to build up out of nowhere. Well, no, I shouldn't say out of nowhere, because I did copy down from a source palette, but I'm going to be changing it heavily. And it's got to fit nicely with all this other stuff that's going on here. So let me see. I'm going to switch over now to instrument in the mic rather than talking in the mic. And I'm going to be playing around with one of these other 2 instruments I have here. Pick this one. And then I'll check in with some words in a little bit. The answer is yes. I'm pretty happy with this so far. This new instrument that I'm building here. I see E-Dub is in the place. Welcome, E-Dub. Yes. Crazy Wabbit is here as well. Man, my dude, doing it. Having some breakfast, it sounds like. I like it. Nick D. Struck also in the place. That's good. So today, since we're doing a tinkering with knobs, just kind of hanging out kind of stream. If you missed it earlier, what's actually happening today is somewhat monumental. It is the first time during the stream that I'm creating a new palette. I had 23 up until this point. Today I'm building 24. I'm building my second palette tuned to the key of F. That's what this one is. This is what it's becoming. And I'm building these on the stream right now. And I'm liking it so far. E-Dub is saying, F yeah, with one of these things. Which means, like, this is rockin', I think. Which I am cool with. And there's one more instrument I need to add to this. But before I add that new instrument, because it's tinkering with knobs, we gotta talk about this new one that I'm building right here, which I really like. This one came out nice. I did less to it than I was expecting to have done to it. So here's what it's built out of, for those of you who like the 505 details. Starts with electric for the tuning, tunes it to F. Then I pass it into a slicer, step slicer. Now I inherited this effect, but I changed the rate. Inherited from the source palette that I copied from. I was expecting to change the slicer step lengths, which is something I generally customize. I kept it for now. I might change it in a future tinkering with knobs, or maybe even later in this one today. But then that's passed into the HRM auto harmony question mark. I should look it up after today. I was not expecting to put that one in there, but now it sounds really good. And I was messing around with some of the settings in there as well, you know, which one, you know, dry versus the effect levels. Mess around a little with that kind of stuff too. Then that's all passed into a sustainer. Electric, slicer, HRM auto, sustainer. Sustainer was really needed in this case, otherwise it was too quiet. So that's good. This is coming along really well so far. I'm very happy with it. This also has the curious detail of some palettes for some reason are just louder than others, and I'm not entirely sure why. Surely it's because of, you know, some of them have sustainers like this and others don't, and I just haven't tracked that down enough. But whatever the reason. Friends, I'm looking over at my clock. We're a little over 20 minutes in. The time has come. Indeed, because here in the live stream, in addition to our friends who are joining us live after the chat, or joining us on replay after the stream, but especially for those of us here in the stream live in the chat, we got a little momentum happening. The time has come, my friends, for the first official cheers moment. Yes! Grab your drink, my friends. We are doing it. We are going to affirm how you belong. It's good that you are here, and we want you here. This is the anti-loneliness component of the Reconsider It live stream. You crave this part. This is good. Grab a drink, my friends, whatever it may be. I got my water right here. This is going to be really, really good. I'm so excited and looking forward to this. Already feeling that build up. There's anticipation of this very nice cheers. Here comes, my friends. I'm counting up, and we're going to do it on 3. But first, after that, you got 1. Got the first piece of it. This is good. This is really good. Also, after 1, my friends, you got 2. But the very nice, exciting cheers moment happens now on 3. Clink, my friends. Cheers. Oh, that's so good. Thank you for being here. This is so good. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please share this video. For our friends who are joining us in the year 6074, thank you for being here with us as well. Please leave a comment below. I see E-Dub is coming through with a very nice cheers, which I like. E-Dub also says, I covet your shirt. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, we get a good view of it. I don't need to lower the music for that though. Yeah, it's a pretty good view, I think. If my camera is effective, seems pretty good. Maybe like this. Maybe this would be a little better. There. The unnecessary gunpoint lecture. They are a noise metal band. I have seen them live a whole bunch of times. They put on a fun, half hour to an hour of a lot of noise, period. They're, if you get one of their albums, I think they're on Bandcamp. I'm very confident they're on Bandcamp, although I don't promise it. Certainly hear their music, but the live experience is much, much, much more. Nick D. Stark also coming through with the cheers, which I like, and it's very good. You know another group that's worth checking out, that I like talking about every opportunity I get, and I'm going to now use this as an opportunity to squeeze it in. Another group that's really good that you should check out, and you really, really, really need to see them live, is Captured by Robots. I'd be very happily amazed if any of you know Captured by Robots. And this includes our friends who are listening after the stream. Put it in the comments if you do, if you know Captured by Robots. It's really just one guy. I call it a group because it's a guy who has these animatronic robots that he's built. I'm talking like Chuck E. Cheese type stuff. But robots, not dressed up like a bear or something. So he's got these robots. I think there's 3 of them, but I'm going to say 3, but don't quote me on the exact number. Multiple. And they play the instruments. And I don't mean like he has a backing track and they're up there and you have a robot that's holding a bass and going like this. I mean, no, it's actually playing the instrument. It's wild. So he's got these 3, let's say, robots that accompany him, this one guy. This is Captured by Robots. And he's singing and doing lyrics and stuff, and he's playing something. I don't know if he's playing the guitar or the bass or what his live instrument is, but he's got a drummer, animatronic robot drummer that's really playing the instruments. And it's some just like noisy, thrashy, metal, screamy type stuff. It's awesome. The live show is awesome. And he tours. And he tours around the United States. I guess I don't know about if he tours internationally. But it's a good page to follow, and if he's ever coming to your area, it's worth a little drive to go check out his show. It's really good. I don't know what word to use, not ironically, tragically maybe. The guy who does Captured by Robots he made a second project. I forget the name of it, but he had to shut it down for some reason. And that one was much more like a full-on Chuck E. Cheese style thing with, I think, bears. I think he had animatronic bears in that other project. But he had to shut it down for some reason. And I don't know why, but it makes me very sad because I didn't get to see that one. He was only doing that one for like maybe a year or two before he had to stop doing it. But I get the impression there was some kind of like safety concern with something. So that's unfortunate because that looked like a cool second project by this genius. So this palette, I'm still listening to it. And again, I'm liking it so far. It had a good foundation, admittedly. I'm changing the texture, the flavor, the output effects, but I am inheriting a good starting point palette, so I'm not shocked that this sounds good. Volume levels are my only concern right now, but that's always a dynamic, real-time during the performance thing anyway. That's not something you build into the palette. The palette should have the opportunity to be loud if it needs to be. So we're good there. The last step for this palette, my friends, for this section anyway, as I'm building up the palette itself, the sound effects and everything, that's the last segment here, and I'm on the final sound that I'm going to bring up right now that I'm going to build for this new, or not new, but yet to be created sound palette. After that, I'll do some panning and some output effects. Not necessarily in that order. But for now, we still have this additional instrument I need to create. So let's take a look at the starting point. I'm going to go off talking mic and put this into the instrument mode. What I start with will be the starting point, and you'll hear as I'm changing things and playing around with this and that. Let's do it. So, I think it's tentatively at a good spot, but I'm not totally satisfied with it. This new instrument that I'm creating here. I think it's a little too sensitive, too loud, so I might have to dial that back a bit. Otherwise, I think it's okay. It occupies a nice space. Here's what it's made out of and ways that I've changed it. I'm going to bring it back in right now so you remember what I'm talking about. This one. This is the new instrument that I'm building right now. So it's not bad, as I say. It's in an okay state that I'm probably going to want to keep evolving. But it's built out of a distortion that was set to vocal distortion, which I think is my favorite way to use that particular, I guess, input effect, to turn distortion into a vocal distortion. That's how I usually like to use it. I think that's the best use of that. And it's how that was when I inherited it from the source palette that I copied from today. So I changed it to boost, which is what it sounds like. It's more of a boost. It gives it more of a, like the part that I'm not totally happy with is that it's very, very sensitive to even little sounds and all that. And so I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm going to erase this and re-record it. But in terms of just like fitting in with the rest of the sounds, I think it does okay in that regard. So yeah, it's good in that regard. But anyways, in any case, I didn't finish describing how it's built up. So the distortion fed into a boost this time, and then I had to spend a bit of time messing around with the various levels in there. That's what I'm going to keep playing with. There's a tone in there I didn't mess with at all. That's pretty low at the moment, which is what I would want. That's part of what gives it the muted feel right there. Then that's fed into the electric, which is the tuner. Then it's fed into a tremolo, which is not there. That was not there before. Before it was, I forget what it was before. But the tremolo, I think, helps it blend in with the other instruments, which are all either tremolo or a slicer in them. And you can hear it very clearly in these, they have a tremolo in them. This one, you hear the slicer in it. So I'm timing them all so they synchronize across the different instruments. Does the bass have anything? Bass does not in this one. So there's no instrument that I'm going to keep evolving. I'm going to go back to evolving in just a second. Distortion, electric tremolo, and then a reverse delay, which I also timed to synchronize. So, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to keep tinkering a little bit, but I think it might be in an okay place that I can say this palette is built anew. And move on to panning and external sound effects, output sound effects. And then I can move forward saying that I have a full 24 palettes, which would be great. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing it, my friends. I'm going to go back off of the talking version of the mic. I'm going to go back to just messing with this sound right here. I'm going to erase this one, I think. Keep messing with the sound effects. Keep making it blend in with the rest of the other things. Record a new one, then move on to panning and such. So let's do that. see my man Tracker Jack has joined us. Welcome, my dude. The place is already better with you here. So regarding this new instrument here, the final piece of this palette, I think I am pretty happy with it. I don't know that I have any, I don't know that any of my other palettes have something that sounds quite like this. So what I was doing, messing around with the instrument more. In the distortion itself, I took the tone down a little, but the tone was already at 44, which is almost completely off. 50 is off. I took it down to 40, or I'm sorry, negative 44 is what it was. Negative 47 is what I brought it down to now. So it's still a little muted, a little further. And I played more around with the dry versus effect levels with that, trying to keep things a little more tame, a little more muted. And then I ultimately played with exactly how much distortion I put on it, which was a large amount. It was mostly on. The tremolo is as it was before, as I talked about it earlier. I didn't change anything there. But the reverse delay, I did a fair amount here in the reverse delay. I put the feedback up a lot, which I don't normally do. Normally when I'm doing a delay of any kind, I keep the delay, or I'm sorry, the feedback levels relatively dialed in, pretty low, you know, 10-20% feedback would be kind of like, wow, that's a lot. You're going up to 20%? I dialed this up to 90. And for the gentle sound that it is, I think this feedback works a lot. And that's just like how much of the sound itself you're hearing remaining behind. That's what the feedback is. So it's really dialed up a lot. And I like it. I don't think I have this in any other track of mine, any other palette of mine. So I am pretty happy with it. And what that means is we hang out for a little longer. I continue to see if I really am happy with these sounds. And in the meanwhile, start tinkering around with some output effects and some panning. Panning begins in the drums. So let's do that. Now, as I mentioned, this palette was copied from an existing palette. And as you may know, my regulars know, that I just finished going through all of my 23 palettes, which is part of why today I'm building the 24th. But what that means is I just copied from a palette that I just finished revising. So the drums panning are probably in a good state. I haven't looked at them yet. But let's start by taking a look at the drum panning. The kick is currently at 4% to the right, which is usually my max. 4% either way for the kick is like, whoa. I usually like the kick to be pretty center, but I also like to push myself into weird areas and weird places that are outside of my comfort zone and I don't think about. I intentionally put myself into places that I don't think about. That's part of what my name means, by the way. Reconsider it. So we got 4% to the right for the kick drum. We got 6% to the left with the snare clap thing. I'm gonna swap these. So I'm gonna put the, instead of 4% to the right, I'm gonna put the kick 2% to the left. And instead of 3% to the left, I'm gonna take that snare clap thing, this, and I'm gonna make it 10% to the right. Sometimes I like having a very expansive panning on the drums, which is where I'm gonna keep going with these other ones over here. So we got this hi-hat sounding thing, pretty nice, hi-hat shaker thing, but then we got the what do you exhale? The hi-hat sounding thing is currently 34% to the left, and I can hear that. It's again, I'm coming out of a palette that was just revised, so it doesn't surprise me. The exhale is 18% to the right. I might be okay with these as they are. I'm going to bring in the other drum elements here. Kick, 2% to the left. Snare, 10% to the right. Hi-hat shaker thing, 34% to the left. Exhale, 18% to the right. So the snare and the exhale are pretty close at 10 and 18% to the right, while the kick and the hi-hats are pretty far apart. Kick is 2% to the left, hi-hats 34% to the left. I think this is not bad, but I want to bring the breath out a little more. It's a mostly okay configuration, I think. Bringing the breath to 22% to the right. I think it's pretty nice there. So drum panning, pretty good. Pretty happy with the drum panning. Bass is always centered. Perhaps at some point I will reconsider that as well. But that day is not today. The bass is staying centered. And if you were with us on the most recent stream or two, might have been only the most recent stream, I mentioned how I wanted to extend my bass layer to twice as long. I tried that out on the most recent Loops and Chill stream. Every song I did on the Loops and Chill stream yesterday had a twice as long extended bass line. I felt it worked easily in every case. So I've already gone through all of my palettes and set them to be twice as long bass line. So that's happening here too. That's why I bring it up. Since we're talking about this bass, I've already set this one to be twice as long. Awesome. I find that helps the song have a more expansive feel. And I may yet continue changing that sort of thing. Length and what have you. I was even tinkering with the idea of starting to reintroduce unusual time signatures into my stuff. That's one of my, let me start over. Unusual time signatures is one of my favorite things to do in music, both listening and also writing. But usually when I do this looper stuff, I'm using a very common time sort of thing. give you these jagged common time rhythms. But they're pretty common time. So I don't know. I was thinking about reintroducing weird time signatures. I could start with something easy like a 3 or a 6 count beat. I had a fun beat once that I made in a 9 count that was just 3 threes in the rhythm. That song came out really nice. Oh, what was it called? You can find it on my page, the one I'm thinking of. Dang, I wish I remember what it was called. Because it's a pretty dope little song. It's like a 1 minute, 2 minute song. So in any case, we're doing panning to bring myself back to what's really happening at this time. And we're doing panning on the upper looper. Bass is always center, nothing to configure there. But then we got the 2 that flank the bass. Again, this is coming straight out of a recently evolved palette, so it's probably in a pretty good state. What are the pannings on these? Okay, the left one is 38% to the left. The right one is 28%. 38 versus 28%. With the drums and everything. Let me first get an appreciation of this. 28 to the right, 38 to the left. You can definitely feel it. The drums lean to the left, and these 2 instruments that flank the bass also lean to the left. So I think for the outmost layers, I want to have them leaning more to the right. I probably did that in the previous palette that I inherited from. Let me see. No, I didn't actually. Okay, this is good. I'm going to change a little bit the way these 2 layers here, these ones that flank the bass, 28% to the right, 38% to the left. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that backward. No, I didn't. 28 to the right, 38 to the left. I'm going to change those a little bit. Ironically, I was thinking about bringing them more closer to evenly at about 30, but I'm going to go a little further than that. I'm going to bring the left one in to 28 and the right one out to something even, to 42. Okay. I think that's pretty interesting. You know, I wonder how many people are really into panning. All the little subtle attention that I'm putting into the panning of this. I know there are some people that for sure they're listening on headphones, and whether intentionally or subconsciously, they're noticing panning stuff. And it's for those individuals, those listeners with the headphones on. That's what I'm putting all this time into. I wonder about the others. Folks who mostly listen on some kind of speaker system. I wonder how much this changes their experience. The subtle, like, oh, is it 2% or is it 4%? Oh, is it 38% or is it 36%? That kind of stuff might not make much of a difference for our friends who are listening on a speaker system. Or like in a car, that would also count. Extreme panning, you notice. But not the subtle stuff, probably. In any case, so I've shifted these two ones that flank the bass. 42% to the right, 28% to the left. Wow, it really has a... This is like a, you know, like a gourd, like a piece of fruit. And then beyond this, we've also got the two more center stage elements. %62 to the right, 72% to the left. I think that's close to what I'm gonna keep. I might bring the right one in a little bit. On here is these extreme ones. These are the ones that are most noticeable in the song. This one here is 56% to the right, working alongside this one here, which is 42% to the right. So that's 42% to the right and 56% to the right. Now they are standing in opposite companionship. So this one, which is currently set to 72% to the left, working alongside our friend here, 28%. So that's 28% to the left and 72% to the left. And those are, of course, coming together with these other ones over here. And I still have to work on the volume levels, I think. But just for panning for right now, we're looking at 56% to the right, 42% to the right, 28% to the left, 72% to the left. It's a pretty expansive soundscape. Bass is in the center. Drums are a little left-leaning. Edub says you're able to hear all the little panning differences. Awesome. That's really cool to hear. That's really cool to hear. You said Audio Technica? That's what I got. That's awesome. I wonder if we have the exact same model of headphones. In principle, that should give us the same, you know, sound and sensitivity, sound and like output to be sensitive to. So I think the panning is in pretty good shape with this, which I'm not surprised to hear coming out of a palette that was already in pretty good shape. Now we move on to output effects, which generally also we start with drums, usually pretty fast. There's not much to change and customize. There's a little bit, but let's see. That seems to be working. Nice. My low pass filter, right? Beautiful. It's configured exactly how I like it. Ready to move on. The filter is something I have experimented with. You know, reconfiguring the filter in different ways, going with a high pass filter, adjusting the various tone or resonance or whatever other settings. I have a way that I like my low pass filter. There's a little bit of variation that does sound pretty cool once in a while, but I have a way I like it, the end. And this is set the way I like it already. Good. Then we got some reverb. Set to 0.8 seconds. Good. That's a good amount of reverb for drums. Sometimes I go a little more, but I'm happy with that. So what that means is that this lower looper is completely done with edits that I'm going to make to this today. So I'm going up to the top looper, and we are going to do some output effects one at a time. 2 of them are probably going to be quick. 2 of them may or may not be quick. So let's start by bringing in these. Normally, I don't pair up those 2 output effects. This one like this. And the drums. So this stutter type of thing with that vinyl scratch, they call it a vinyl flick in the looper here. But I like it. I'm going to keep it. Filter. Already configured the way I like it. It's so good when I'm playing around with the filters and I get both of them on at the same time. Those two, those are the ones that go fast. Sounding good already. Now we got reverb. Gate reverb we got up here. Let's keep it simple at first. Oh. Just having inherited this from another palette, I'm not surprised that it sounds good. Do I want to change it? I kind of want to change it for the sake of this not inheriting too much from its parent palette. But this sounds good. Maybe it's just because these instruments sound good. Let me change another one. Okay, yeah, I feel like I could change some of this in it. Let's see here. This, by the way, it was a gate reverb. I'm going to turn up some pre-delay on it. I like it up compared to what it was. It was at like 22 or something earlier. I turned it up to 140 milliseconds. I'm going to bring it back down, but still higher than it was. Maybe like 50 or 60 something. There, 62. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. That's good. The amount of time is 1.1 seconds on the gate reverb here, compared to the 0.8 on the drums on the bottom. In general, I would put a shorter reverb on the drums. Compared to the top looper with all the melodic layers. And I think I'm going to do that in this case. I'm going to keep this at 1.1, maybe even take it down 1.0. But I could see myself experimenting with having more reverb on the drums one day compared to the top looper. I could see a very easy way to explore that kind of soundscape. So this gate reverb, I think is sounding pretty good. I'm keeping a lot of what I inherited, but I turned up the pre-delay about 20 milliseconds. So it kicks in a little later, which is interesting on these that are just sustained layers here. I see Amphos is in the place. My dude. Trusto and Moser as well. By the way, to Trusto and Moser, it looks like you guys are feeling better. That's good. So I think I'm pretty happy with this gate reverb. I think I'm pretty happy with this gate reverb here. After the reverb, we have got a slicer, is it? A slicer, yeah. Let me take this into line with the other ones. There we go. Let's give it a shot. How does this sound? So it matches the other layers. I think it doesn't necessarily match the drum, the percussion I made. That's the risk always with using a slicer or a tremolo, is that it's like, you know, it's really dependent on what kind of rhythm you have. And my rhythms are usually all jagged and all over the place and difficult to predict. But this slicer matches. It matches the other layers in terms of the, what was it set to? A dotted eighth note, I think? Yeah, dotted eighth note. So it's chopping it in accordance with how it's already kind of coming in and out with its own tremolo that was set to the same period. Yeah, that sounds good. I think I might put the slicer on lightly when I use it. I don't want a full chop. But these layers here, man, these came out nice. I like those. I'm gonna go off camera 1 second. Amphos, are you still here? Is the Amphos still here? I have an announcement that is very specific and unique to Amphos. For the first time I'm seeing him on the chat in maybe a week or two. If you are still here, Amphos, let me know. I have a thing for you, an update for you. The slicer, I think, is sounding good, my friends. And my only concerns with all these different levels, or all these different instruments here, is just the volume levels. And the volume levels is never something that I build into the palette with a, you know, with a lot of attention. I'll put some would seem like decent defaults, but that's always recording specific. Panning I'm happy with. It's pretty spread out. It's pretty spread out like this. And it's a little bit chunky on the left. But that's how I built it. So we're gonna go with it. And I can always come back and tweak it next time I'm doing another round through on the tinkering with knobs here. But in the meanwhile, if this is good, my friends, that means we erase all of it. No, oh, we just spent an hour building this whole beat. It's all so dope. You know? Okay, my friends, I'm going to save all of this now. Make sure I save all my hard work. Once again, if you are joining the stream with us a little later than like immediately at the very start, I'm going to remind you of what was actually going on today, why this was so special, why was this such a monumental stream today. First, let me save this real quick on the lower looper here. All right, got it. So why was this such a monumental stream today? The reason is that this was the 24th palette. This is the first time ever in a Tinkering with Knobs stream that I built a palette that didn't exist before. Normally I'm revising existing palettes, but I built my missing 24th palette today. Hooray! And I'm pretty happy with it in the first draft. I'm about to save this. Here we go. Yes. Oh, it's saved. I'm so excited. Should I do it again just to be sure I saved it? Okay, there you go. I did it twice. Now I really saved it. Unless that just corrupted it. So now the task, my friends, is I'm going to quickly build another beat using this palette that I just made. Now every key, every major key has 2 palettes. I'm up to 24. This is great. I now have a second F palette. You can always be very proud that you were here to enjoy the creation of this new palette. Friends, I'm going to go build a beat real quick. If I'm still happy with the sounds, which I probably will be, then we're going to do a quick cheers. We're going to feel so together and united, and you're going to feel so welcome. It's going to be really good. And then we'll call it a stream. It'll be really good. Let's do it, my friends. I'm going to build a palette real quick. Let's check it out.
All right, friends. I think the answer is yes. I'm still pretty happy with this palette. Brings me up to 24. Oh, you know, this reminds me. I had to go update my program that randomizes these for me. Now I got a 24th one going in there. Yes, this is so dope. Now I can always say that I have 2 of every key, every major key. This is the F key. I see Tracker Jack says jamming along. That's dope. That's such a good use of this live stream. I hear so many people tell me different kinds of feedback about how this live stream brings them value. Some people like to, as you're saying, jam along with it. That's part of why I share the key and the beats per minute. By the way, the beats per minute on this one so far is 149.6. Not even so far, it will remain that. Other people prefer to just kind of have it on in the background while they're doing stuff. That's also a really good use of this live stream. And I'm very honored to bring you value in whatever way that it does. And I love having you here. That's part of the cool part of this is like, my goal is always to bring you a lot of value. And I invite your feedback on that. What are some other things that you would like? I know rap is one of the things that is in demand. So that's still on my list of what I need to prioritize in order to properly entertain you and ideally bring you into a space of deep reflection. As I say, my friends, thank you for being here. We have had a very successful Tinkering with Knobs stream today. I created a new palette, up to all 24. Every major key has two palettes associated with it now with different instruments and things, so I have some options. In order to properly celebrate, my friends, you know what we have to do. You know what is coming up right now. You know how we celebrate around here. Around here. Friends, grab your drink. Oh, Amphos, you're still here. Okay, my friends. Friends, this is what's gonna happen. Listen to this. Amphos, you have a special thing. This is just for you, Amphos. There was a stream. There was a stream that you were on of mine. Maybe like a month or two ago. I forget exactly when it was. And I was wearing a shirt that's very difficult to read. And after the live stream was over, I went back and I was doing some post-production. I saw you had left some comments that were like, what does the shirt say? And I didn't see it during the stream, but I saw it after the stream. It was this shirt right here. I was wearing this shirt and you were like, what does this say? This is a local, I don't know what you'd call them. I think they call themselves a lifestyle brand. But the guy who does it also raps and he puts on shows and things. But it says down to hearse. Down to, like the numeral 2. Down to hearse. Look at this. Look how much I mean it when I say that I care about you and you having a good time and you having a good experience. That genuinely matters to me. I'm not just saying that. So, my friend, Yamphos, I hope that closes a loop for you and that you can have a little bit of resolution. Part of what I saw that you had typed in the chat was, oh no, I'm never going to know what the shirt says. But now you do. And also, we're doing our closing cheers moment at this time. It's going to be so good. Friends, grab your drink. We're doing it right now. It's going to be very, very good. I got my water. I know my man Yamphos, you said you got some coffee. You might have whatever you have, whoever you are listening, whether you're joining us here live, whether you're joining us here live in the chat versus you're just listening and you're not here in the chat with us. Our friends who are joining us after the stream, watching our replay, you are every bit as part of this as all the rest of us who are here live. Every bit as much a part of this. Friends, the cheers moment is coming right now. I'm going to start counting up. It's very exciting. You can already feel the excitement exciting you. Here comes some exciting excitement, my friends, with 1. That's so good. That's really, really exciting. Because you know that the cheers moment is coming after that on 2. Building up still. And you love how much this builds up because you know it builds all the way up to 3. Clink. Cheers, my friends. Man, that's so good. I love doing this with you. I love being here with you and doing this with you. It's just such a good experience. I get so much out of it. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please share this video. For our friends who are joining us after the stream, please leave a comment. To my people who are listening in the year 8,274. Thank you for being here with us as well. Have you invented yet the ability to send information back in time? I know that's theoretically possible. There was a physicist in, I believe it was University of Connecticut, I may be mistaken, but I believe that's where he was. There was a physicist who, like 10 or 20 years ago, he wrote this book of his, it's half, what do you call it? Biography? Autobiography? It's half autobiography, half some of his discoveries in theoretical physics. And if you're interested in why he was so motivated to study the idea of time travel, you might enjoy his book. It has if I recall correctly, it does have a personal element to it. To make a long story short, his theoretical physics, without spoiling the biography side of it, his theoretical physics showed that it's possible to transfer information backward in time, but only within a closed loop that you start. So for example, I could start a loop right now using some theoretical technology that I forget if he actually constructed it or not. I think the answer is he did, but I'm not sure about that part. I know he had it theoretically worked out. So he would have to use this technology of his that would begin a loop that at any point in time until the loop was shut off, information could be sent in the loop. Now, we don't really need a device to help us send information forward in time. We can just use a piece of paper for that. Or any kind of recorded medium. But the sending backward in time was his discovery. And I wish I could shout him out by name. I wish I could confirm whether he constructed his device. I feel like the answer is yes. He was able to send a signal backward in time. But again, I can't confirm that. I might be just, having some kind of wishful, excited thinking there. So anyway, for my people, in the year 8274, have you yet mastered sending information back in time? I'm opening a communication channel with you right now. Please send me some good information, some good knowledge, some helpful, beneficial information and knowledge. That's practical. Practical, I might add. Results in a practical, good thing. You know what else is a good thing? This stream and you being here. Thank you once again for being here, my friends. You did it. Very successful Tinkering with Knobs stream today. I hope to see you in the next live stream. My regulars know when we do these live streams here. These Tinkering with Knobs streams, man, these are random. These are sporadic. Nobody knows when I'm going to do these. Even I don't know when I'm going to do these. I did not think I was going to do this one today, and then I was like, oh, I'm going live. What's happening? I'm doing a live stream. What's going on? So that's kind of what happened this morning. I'll jump on for an hour or two, play with some knobs. Usually it's about an hour. Looks like we're a little closer to 2 hours today because I built a new palette from scratch. Well, not from scratch, but built a new palette. My regulars know that you got to have notifications turned on in order to join these tinkering with knob streams reliably. You never know when I'm going to jump on for an hour or two and play around with some sounds and talk with you a lot. But there's also the second category of live streams that my regulars also know. Doing some loops and chill. Every Wednesday and Saturday. We hang out for an hour. That one, I'm not putzing around with the sounds. I'm not, talking about the shirt that I forgot to tell you about a couple months ago. The loops and chill stream is a little more organized. That's one beat after another. Join us every Wednesday and Saturday for some loops and chill, my friends. Please subscribe. Please share this video. And until then, my friends, please have a very good rest of your day today. Please have a very inspiring rest of your day today. Please have everything today go exactly the way that you are ready for it to go. Let it be a good, meeting your expectations kind of day. Please let the rest of your day today let you feel good. Please feel healed today. By the time that you transfer your conscious awareness away from this world of molecules and solid matter, three-dimensional space and objects, you transfer your consciousness away into By then, my friends, please have a very healing and wonderful and inspiring rest of your day today. And I will see you in the next Reconsider It live stream.